And hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're back. We missed you. It's AWS Security Live Special Edition, streaming live here in Las Vegas, Nevada for AWS reInvent. And I'm one of your co-hosts today, Ryan Orsi here at AWS, running a team of partner specialists that focus on security and cloud operations and resilience, joined by one of my other favorite co-hosts.
Hey, Ryan, like at some point you got to put those on and just say, just deal with it, right? I think that's the thing. And I'm going full Elvis mode. We're in Vegas. Baby, I like it a lot. That's not how it goes.
That's actually the chops, and it's just glasses he's wearing.
I actually officiated 3 weddings this morning. Just the sunglasses is all you need in Vegas. Most people don't know that. My name is Brian Mendenhall. I lead the worldwide security and identity partner specialist team at AWS. We connect partner solutions with customer needs, put them together, make magic happen. Sparkle, baby. I'm not alone. I'm here. We've got a couple guests, but first, The Hart Rossman. The Hart Rossman is actually part of his name. I've seen your birth certificate, and it says The Hart Rossman. It's incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah, thanks for having me today. I am Hart Rossman, and happy to be here with Security Live. I look after security in the field at AWS, which includes one of my favorite services, the AWS Security Incident Response Service.
Well, thanks for joining, Hart.
And we're not alone. But actually, before we move on, can we look at the best really quickly?
Yeah. So this year the theme is corporate punk for reInvent.
All right.
And so we're rocking out here, studs and everything.
It's going, and the glasses match, Hart.
You guys.
That was our producer's choice. Good job, producer. Good job.
Amazing. And with us today, we have Arctic Wolf, Sean.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Great to be here. Sean Phillips, Arctic Wolf. I run alliances for Arctic Wolf globally. This is, I want to say, maybe our 4th time on Security Live, and we're excited to talk to the team about security incident response and some of the work we're doing with our products together. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to my partner in crime here, Stephen McKay.
Hi everyone, Stephen McKay, VP of Product Management at Arctic Wolf. This is my 2nd Security Live. I was with you all in London back in July.
Oh, yes.
Had a great time.
I think we were there together.
We were.
Were we not? Yes.
We were on stage together. It was good fun.
What's happening right now?
Oh, what's going on?
There's a server in the background.
There's some kind of a dance happening. This is a Las Vegas entertainer behind me.
Shark. You never know what's going to happen in Vegas.
What it lookalike was just like Kurt Kufeld of AWS.
He's so mysterious.
It can't be. Surely can't be him.
And then he's gone.
It's like a figment of our imagination.
Never to return, hopefully.
I love it. Arctic Wolf, you guys have so much going on. There's so much goodness happening. Can you just give us an update, some of the things that you are working on and some of the things that you guys are launching when it comes to meeting security customer needs? What's happening?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll start there. So our customers, it's all about the open platform that we have and how we can meet them where they are with their investments. So if we think about AWS, where customers are investing in AWS, they're using services like Security Hub. We're building integrations that allow for the ingestion of that data so that our security operations team can take action and provide, better cybersecurity outcomes.
That's amazing.
Fantastic. And tell us, guys, you've been working on security incident response together, right, for quite a while. How's it going?
I would say it's been going fantastic. We have a lot of prospects and customers that have been interested in what we can do when we can connect our 2 teams and we can connect our efforts. And Hart and the team have been really instrumental in working with us to make sure that we're building out playbooks with our internal incident response team in our group to ensure that when a customer does have an incident, they're not like scrambling, working with 2 disparate teams and trying to figure out like, hey, how do I get my AWS information? Right. How do I get my Arctic Wolf team on the same phone so we're not like doubling up on our work and double spending and just having a much harder time getting to the resolution of an incident.
Well, every second counts.
It does.
Right. The last thing that when you're having a bad day, not that that's happened ever to me, but when you're having a bad day,
I'm going to put a coin in just in case. So
thanks for
nice.
Someone put real cash in here. There you go. It looks like United States currency.
Is now our partners are actually like holding us accountable to the court. Slide that thing over to get it away from these guys.
True. There we go.
Till we need it, it's over to you.
Well, but besides the actual money, which I'm wondering if we have the key to actually get inside of that thing, maybe start with the incident response lifecycle. And so we got AWS here. We've got Hart, the leader of this. We've got yourself, Arctic Wolves. Walk us through the incident response lifecycle. Where does it start and end?
Want me to start?
Yeah.
So it depends is the first answer. There's really two different
Can't
routes
escape my
to this.
question there, Sean.
I won't dodge it. I won't dodge it. But I'll make it very quick. So in the end, we have customers that are coming to us from a carrier or a broker that we really have no relationship with today. Those customers, they're working with their carrier and they're saying, hey, we had an incident.
And this is not like a cell phone carrier, folks. I believe he's talking about an insurance carrier.
Thank you. Yes.
And we're not talking about like fire or homeowners insurance. I think we're talking
cyber insurance.
It's just setting the stage.
It's a rabbit trail. There's a lot of individual coverages, and AWS does a great job with their insurance competency and program run by Stephanie Rice. And Brian Levy is helping support that.
Yeah, big shout out to that team.
They're doing a great job. And typically what's happening is these insurance carriers have an incident with one of their insureds, and they need to know who to send that organization to get help because they have an incident. They've indicated that to the carrier. The carrier knows that a claim is coming, and they want to make sure that there's someone that's qualified to respond to that incident and that can respond to it in a way that resolves the need and then sets them up into the future in a better position. And when that happens, they're then picking up the phone and they're referring that organization to someone like us, someone that's on a panel, which is a kind of a term that the carriers use for organizations that are approved to respond to incidents.
You're in the club.
Yes, you're in the club. You made the list.
Got it.
The list. So once that referral happens, that's where the life cycle that Ryan's talking about starts to begin. The customer now wants to know, how do I work with Arctic Wolf and AWS, in this case, in this example, to remediate the incident and get me back on my feet? And when we work together in that incident lifecycle, what that can look like, and I'll try to keep this really brief, is we then identify what the incident is. We realize that it's an AWS customer, and they've got logs in the cloud, and they've got logs that they're trying to retrieve as part of the incident process. We immediately want them to go to their security incident response or security incident responder portal, and they want to open a case and then work with Arctic Wolf to remediate, leveraging the CERT team that is internal that Hart manages.
Oh, you did. First one.
But the best part is Hart can explain what the CERT team is.
What is that?
Security incident response team.
So Hart, tell us what happens on the AWS side.
Yeah, so it's kind of an interesting thing. So Sean was sort of talking about what happens when there's an escalating security issue. And I think that's a great part of the life cycle. But most customers actually, fortunately, never experience that, right? We have secure by design, secure by default services.
Mm-hmm.
Got great partners like Arctic Wolf helping them around the clock to manage it. And so part of the life cycle that I'm actually most interested in is, what do they do with incident response teams the other 364 days of the year, right? And that's what I love about our one team approach, right? Talking about updating the playbooks, modernizing and automating security operations. I think you guys have some cool new features you probably want to talk about in the Aurora platform, right? And so there's this whole idea that you're doing proactive security so that in the event you've got an escalating security issue, you can go from a bump in the night to everything's all right at lightning speed. But the vast majority of the time, there's no security issue, right? And so you've got this opportunity to just continually raise the bar on your performance and operations, right? With a partnership like we have here with Arctic Wolf and AWS.
Absolutely. I think someone actually, Dean Lawrence from your team told me yesterday, I don't think I'll ever forget this. If your incident response plan fits on one slide, you have a postmortem. So Dean, shout out to Dean. Solid work, Dean,
well
Steph,
done,
and Leedy on that one. But to Hart's question, within your platform, it's not just hey, at this moment this thing happened and then the lights are blaring and everything's happening. There's a lot that leads up to that, right? And that's integrated with our partners.
Yeah, absolutely. So as I mentioned, the open platform is essential. So customers are ingesting data during peacetime. That's great. We can be proactive. So if there is an event, a vulnerability is announced, we can proactively go and ascertain if a partner is at risk and give the assurance, if they're not, to let them know. So that's critical. But then if there is an incident, to Hart's point, it's having access to all of that data so that you can respond quickly, because I think, as Orsi said at the beginning, time is critical at that point. Mm-hmm. So the Aurora platform allows us to collate all of that data, correlate the data, and then at the point at which there is an escalation, all of that data is available to our security operations team to take meaningful response.
And I would love to say, Stephen, collecting the data, I know you're using an umbrella term here, the data. If you've all been there in a security role dealing with data or log files from, I don't know, physical hardware appliances, something in the cloud, something on laptops, something in a company you just acquired, and the other clouds. That's the data we're talking about in this case, right? And I think you all do an amazing job centralizing that on AWS in a very high volume, quickly evolving platform. So, what are some of the reasons behind the Aurora platform itself, though? Why is it here?
Why is it here? Because as you talked about the data, all of the above, it's important to be able to correlate that data, stream it into the platform, and then provide it to the people when they need it. The people typically being the security operations team. And so building that platform and having the services available, the uptime that you need, and that data accessible when you need it is absolutely critical. I think there's a lot of data to be stored. If you store it in cold storage, the time to retrieve it is no good when we think about incidents and incident response.
Mendenhall, has the turkey timer gone off for AI yet? Because I'm feeling like
I think it was my buzzer was going off.
Stephen was just talking about that data going to humans operating a security operations center, or SOC. We can say SOC now, folks. There you go.
Okay, there we go.
What about agents? AI agents in the security operations center. Are we there yet?
I'm surprised we made it this long in the conversation.
We're
bringing that up.
11 minutes. That's crazy.
I think I'm still afraid of the swear jar from July.
Really traumatized Stephen in London. That was a lot of fun. So.
Got him.
So absolutely, agentic SOC automation is critical. If we think about the services we use from AWS, Bedrock is a great example whereby we have a lot of data, we have people within our security operations center, but we want to empower them. And that starts with the AI agentic experts running across each attack surface. So having an endpoint expert that is looking at that data and then empowering the analysts so that when they pick up the incident, a lot of the work that they would have historically done manually is being done for them.
Right. So if you're a practitioner out there, what words of wisdom would you give the practitioners out there that are responsible for the cyber incident response or are starting their journey on incident response? Like, where are the things? Because we've talked about data, systems, people, like agentic. Like, we've covered so much ground already. Where do we start? What's like step one in this journey?
So for me, step one is that slide. And I think you said one slide is not enough. It's the plan. Who are you working with? Do you have the data that you need when there is an incident? And if you're not running it yourself, if you're working with a partner, AWS, Arctic Wolf, do they have the data they need to best respond to you? So sit down, plan what that instant response would look like. And then the other big thing that people overlook is actually socialize it and validate that the plan, it will be operational should you need it. Because if you wait until you need it, it's too late.
Simulations, right? Hart, I think your organization are some great leaders there that actually coach people through running an incident response simulation. If they're related to this application, these people have to get alerted, these log sources have to get collected, but do they actually exist if that were to happen?
Exactly, right. And so I think what you're getting at in part is this idea of the experience, right? And so just to kind of take it to the side for a second, if you can ride a bicycle, a two-wheeler, that doesn't mean you can ride a unicycle, right? They're completely different skill sets. But it turns out that if you already know how to ride a bicycle, anybody can learn to ride a unicycle in 10 hours or less, right? Watch a couple videos.
Is that true?
Hop on it. Absolutely.
I feel like I might need a new hobby.
Hey,
I swear by it, right?
This is coming from a guy who's like compound fractured that arm several times.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about unicycles.
And personally, having gone on the journey as a unicyclist, right, I can tell you that. Ooh. The same thing is true, I think, with agentic. You can't learn about it by reading about it. You can't learn about it by watching somebody else do it. Particularly as a responder, you need to use something like Agent Core to go build some agents that help you achieve investigative or remediation tasks, right? The way you would want it done, right? And so you've got to roll up your sleeves, get hands-on. AWS Agent Core makes it super easy to do that. And then you want to benefit from the agents that are in Aurora, as Stephen was talking about, and even the newly released security incident response agent in our service that kind of work behind the scenes, proactively collecting the evidence, doing the analytics, and providing courses of action that you can then use within the case to more effectively move forward in the investigation. And so you've got to have that firsthand experience to have an authentic point of view. And you want to rely on teams like ours working together to kind of get ahead of the curve and make some of that capability available to you.
And so deploying these technologies and operationalizing your incident response plan, it's not a big scary thing anymore, right? Like it felt like if you rewind this tape like 5 years, it was like, there's so many unknowns, there's so much complexity, there's all these vendors, and then I've got business stakeholders and somehow legal, and then like insurance, and I don't know anything about insurance and technology. And it's like, well, just hold on. Like, calm down just a little bit. It's not a big scary thing anymore. And like the partners, the vendors, the providers, we're working together, and we have these solutions, these technology capabilities that come together that actually make this a lot easier for the average Joe out there to actually operationalize this.
And just the way you changed the tone of your voice got me really calm. Feel really relaxed right now. Yeah, I was starting to get a little anxious.
Professional.
Knows what he's doing. Knows what he's doing. So, Hartz, Sean, Stephen, what kind of trends are happening out there in your worlds, right? I mean, without exposing roadmap, unless you'd like to, on Security Live, breaking news, article. We'd love to know, what are you thinking about?
Well, we talked a lot about the first one, which is SOC automation.
Okay.
So absolutely critical at Arctic Wolf is empowering the people that we have, the experts that we have, to enable better cybersecurity outcomes. So a lot of the team are doing work there around the automation. The other side is around the data that I referenced earlier. So thinking about the data that we ingest, how we make that available, and how we correlate that data. So gone are the days of the one-on-one mapping where you have an event come from your endpoint and you respond to the endpoint. Understanding the identity that's on that endpoint, the applications, the network, and bringing all of that data together, to give you an overarching view of what's happened. And then that helps teams like Hearts, when they think about responding, having that full picture.
Yeah. I would add, just on the go-to-market side, we're seeing a lot of interest from the customer base of both AWS and Arctic Wolf in trying to figure out how to ensure that they've tested a plan that includes both parties as well. In the end, the AWS incident response service and the Arctic Wolf service, they need to be like tested just like anything else. So when we talk about tabletops, they're going to want to know, like, when I do have some situation, or if I have some situation, hopefully it never happens, but if something happens, what are the steps and have I practiced those? And so we've seen some good interest in organizations wanting to not just work with both of us, but go through a couple of dry runs, make sure that they understand what that looks like, and make sure that they know.
And we're not talking about kitchen tabletops here?
Not kitchen tabletops.
Talking about incident response tabletop exercises?
Yes.
Got it.
Yep. Yeah. And that's been an interesting one. And then the insurance market as well, we've put a lot of joint investment in. We're doing a lot of work together that you guys have helped us with to reach out to different carriers and try to figure out where we are better together. Are we reducing dwell time? Are we able to respond faster because we're working together as a kind of a three-part group? We've done a lot of work to build out the messaging, and we've had good responses so far there too. So just to add to what Stephen said, I'd say those are both pretty important.
So tabletops, panels, and carriers.
And if you're my family watching, they're thinking it's like a trip to the home improvement store is what they're thinking about. You know,
amazing. That's
Hart,
amazing.
Hart, help bring us home here with like where you sit in the organization, AWS here in field security. What are you thinking about? What's hot?
Actually, it's two things that have been top of mind for a lot of customers this week. It's combining the incident response lifecycle, which we just talked about at length, with the secure software development lifecycle. You know, on the one end, you've got things like Aurora, you've got things like the Security Incident Response Service, Agent Core, Bedrock, and on the other end, you've got agentic IDEs like Cura.
Yep.
And when you put all that on the workbench for an incident responder, now they can literally do spec-driven forensics, spec-driven investigation in Cura, developing those agents, right? Developing those workflows on the fly, and then having it land in these automated agentic SOCs. And it really is kind of a thing of beauty, something we've never been able to do before, but is absolutely in the near future.
That's
fantastic.
Incredible. So automation is here, right? Like, and it's not just these silos of like point solutions, point offerings, and it's not even just proactive versus reactive security. We're talking about the entire life cycle. So making sure that your security incident response is tying back into that, like shift all the way to the shift left, and then back through your proactive security.
But on the screen,
controls.
you're shifting right.
What do I do here? I'm so confused.
Where do I put my hand?
We're shifting to the direction. But the point is that making sure that it's a full like life cycle loop across your entire security estate, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, and there's technology that does this, and like we have partners that do this. you're not alone. If you're out there and you hear this, you're not alone.
Not
We're here to
alone.
help. We're
Again,
all
I
working
feel
together.
so calm now, Mendenhall. Well
Goose,
done. Well, Steve and Sean from Arctic Wolf and Hart from AWS, thank you so much for joining us on Security Live, gentlemen.
Thank
And
you for
only
having us.
donating 1 or 2 to the swear jar this time.
Incredible.
Maybe we'll
learned.
get you next
We've
time,
learned.
Steven. Well done. We'll be right back, folks, with more Security Live.
Awesome. Thanks. Cheers.